Okay, so now when it comes to the seamless inline joint, you might get one that comes just looking like that. There's the line that I mentioned before. That's where you need the gap between the boards, so that'll sit flush. Now you might be like me and got one that was this long, then you obviously have to measure that and to the right size and then cut it. But if you're lucky, you get two, so you'll get one either end. You get one either end, another one there, which is what I did. The other one's already up, been glued up there. Again, I've just used this no nails type compound. I just put it all down there and on the bottom part as well, and on the other side, the bottom part, and then pressed it onto the, made sure that lined up in the slot that you've left, and just pressed it up and down, and then any that came out from the sides when it was squashed, I ran my finger or my thumb down the edge just to seal the seam and make it all neat, and then wiped anything that was obviously on my fingers and left on the fascia boards or the seam itself off with a damp cloth, just so you don't leave any of that there to dry. Another thing that I did find useful when it came to nailing the white-headed tacks in, I used my big claw hammer at first, but it was a bit of a cumbersome pain in the backside. And excuse the noise, there's some horny pigeons going at it. The trees above me. But now I've always seen these in the pound stores for about £1, and I thought a tiny little claw hammer, you know, be alright for putting a picture on the wall or something, I suppose. But would I really need one of them? But then I remembered the other day that this was a bit of a pain, cumbersome, so I put the other fascia board up. I went and picked one of these up for £1. It's worth it for no hassle. You can just put that in your pocket, pick it up, take it out, no problem. You ain't got to worry about it falling out and hitting someone holding the ladders on the head or anything, and you can carry it up with you while you're carrying the board in the other hand. So it's worthwhile picking one of them up. Like I say, you can pick them up in the pound stores for about £1. Now, when it comes to the gutter, putting the gutter on, I've decided to clean up the old one that was up there and reuse that, because there's nothing really wrong with it, just it needed a bit of a clean up, and it's easier for me to clean it while it's down on the ground than when I have to go up and clean it as per usual anyway. So that's that. Any clips that you got that you can reuse, you might just want to dump them in some soapy water to clean up. Now, obviously you'll want to check the tapping screws that's already in there. And check to see if you can replace them. Obviously with the same size. Now remember, you have to put your clips on the fascia board after, and the screws will actually help hold the fascia board on as well as the pins and in my case the beads and no nails. Now, an easy way, what I did for that was to measure the gap off the existing clips with the tape measure, and now the tape measure is bending all around, and you're trying to do this with a pair of ladders, where they usually use scaffolding or them big double ladders with the board that you can walk across to do it. So what I actually had to do to drill them was to open the window directly below and hang out onto the window ledge and drill. Then with my arm out up onto the window is to drill a pilot hole about 2.5 mm diameter before screwing the screw on the bracket. But you will have to stick the bracket there before you can mark it with a pencil, before you can put your obviously your pilot hole in for your screw. And you'd have to do that with masking tape. I use masking tape unless you've got some strong blue tack that you think will hold it there while you mark it. I'd prefer you use masking tape like I did. Now what I did do, because the tape measure is a pain and it bends and it flexes all around and you're in a precarious position on a ladder or at the window ledge, is I got a piece of wood, and you could use a piece of plastic, it doesn't matter, or a metal bar even, and I just measured it to the same gap of the clips that was already up there, and then because it's rigid and it won't bend around, you can use that then to measure from clip to clip to keep the distance the same as the clips that was already up there. Okay, so now back to the workbench. Okay, like I said, I just used a small piece of wood to as a rule or as a guide on spacing the clips, because the tape measures bends all over the place, and when you're on a precarious ladder or hanging out the on your window ledge and your window's open, you know, it's not the tape, using the tape measure is not the best thing you can do really. Also, an end cap for the gutter, if you haven't got one around still. I don't know where the original one went, but you'll need one of them again. Be a couple of pounds, not much. And these are to fit the same size gutter in. These clips, I managed to salvage a couple of what was there when the last lot came down, but these aren't exactly the same, but they fit the gutter in, and once the guttering's up there you can't see. It's only this this back bit that's not the same. It hasn't got like a round part at the top like the other ones do, but once the guttering's there, that blocks that out anyway, so you won't see that. They're about 78p, where I think I'd have had to have gone to into another town just to pick up ones exactly the same as mine at about £2 odd. And this is the corner piece. It's the seam for the corner, so you cover up the box part edge at the one corner, obviously. And I suppose it's built obviously so if you've got a longer roof than other people, you know, you can measure it and cut it up here or whatever, but generally you might be able to get two, like I did with the seamless joint. You might be able to get two off this if you cut in the middle, either side. So I might have a split, you might end up, or in my case, might end up having a spare out of that. So again, that's another measure job and a hacksaw job. And in my case, a bit of no nails in the gun to put that up there. I know a lot of the people that come out and do this professionally use like a silicone as the glue, and the silicone's really more of a sealer than a glue. So I don't really have no, you know, I don't really want to be doing that myself. So I use a proper adhesive, the no nails. When the guttering goes in, it goes out with this bottom part facing outwards, and you turn it and click it and then lock the clips into place, and your end piece obviously will fit on the end. And where the guttering joins in the middle to the other piece of guttering, it's best to have it overlap and not side by side, otherwise it will just pour out in the middle when it rains. Now obviously some water will still come out like that, so I'd advise you use a bit of silicone sealer along the seam when they overlap. I'm not sure if that's what they did when they originally put it up, but that'll stop any water leakage from out of there. And that's it, job's a good one. The clips have all gone along in equal measurements, and that's that part back up. And I haven't had to pay £1,000.